4-0. Manchester United, you are an embarrassment.
What more can be said? What hasn't already been said to describe this Manchester United side right now at simply rock bottom? The defending yesterday, despicable. And look, Brighton deserve credit. Graham Potter's side showed real quality, beating United 4-0 at the Amex yesterday evening live here on talkSPORT. But when you're up against a lack of heart, a lack of character, you can be second best quality-wise. Manchester United shouldn't be second best quality-wise, but you can be. People understand that. But when you allow yourself just to cave in, when you don't even spare a thought about the few thousand fans who paid £30 for their tickets and a load more on top of that for their travel, that's, for me, what is a disgrace, an embarrassment. And the thing is, Perry, yesterday, it was amazingly straightforward for Brighton.
When I was watching the game and got back early enough. I was at Luton yesterday.
Yeah.
Got back early enough to watch the game, and you'd have thought that it was a exhibition game or a testimonial game where Brighton were the Harlem Globetrotters and the other team weren't allowed to go anywhere near them or weren't allowed to tackle them or close them down. And there's a plethora of reasons why, but in the end, it comes down to you as an individual player. Even if your team is rubbish and you're getting beat, you've got to be able to come off the pitch at the end of the game and go, well, actually, I couldn't have given any more. Mm-hmm. I gave 100%. All right, the manager might not be good enough. The manager before him, Solskjaer, might have been good enough. There's players in my team that don't. I've played in teams where players don't care. And I hear ex-professionals say there's no player that goes out there not to try. You tell me that all those Man United players on that pitch tried yesterday. No, they didn't. Absolutely not. David De Gea is probably, and none of the goals were his fault. So he's probably one who would go, well, that's not my fault. Every other player on that pitch is culpable. And when you get your star player Fernandes, right, actually coming out to be interviewed and saying, well, it wasn't good enough. We didn't put in enough effort. There wasn't enough desire. We didn't close them down enough. We didn't stay to team shape. It's totally unacceptable. And then he goes, and I include myself in that. When you listen to it, you think, no, mate, you can't do anything about your other players around you. You can try and cajole them. You can have rows. There was no rows. There was no anger, was there? There was no one wanted to fight someone, because as a sportsman, your instinct is your competitive nature, that you hate getting beat. You hate losing. There's none of them players that hate losing. So, and then why did this Fernandes thing why did they extend his contract and give him more money when he still had a long time to go on his contract anyway? The whole malaise around Manchester United, embarrassing is the word, but it's mind-boggling. It actually takes your breath away. Think, well, what are you doing?
At the time, I thought extending Bruno Fernandes' contract was the club protecting themselves, protecting one of their assets.
But where else is he going to go?
I don't know where the assets are right now.
But where else is Fernandes going to go?
What are they working, Perry, on? What are they working on Monday to Friday on the training ground with Ralf Rangnick? Where's the game plan? When Rangnick says they didn't stick to the game plan, well, they simply must not be listening to the game plan or willing to work to a game plan.
Look, it happened if you go back to this debacle with no leadership from the top, there's no vision, there's no clear plan, right? Me and you disagree about Ronaldo. Ronaldo, right? But that was a vanity signing at the beginning of the season. That's not where you sit down and go, well, this is the direction we're going in. This is where we want to play. This player fits the profile of the players we want. Right? That was a vanity signing, thinking, like, keep all the fans, hope he comes back. Jadon Sancho, he wasn't a priority. They didn't need Jade. They needed a centre-half and a centre midfield player before him, right? So then there's no plan. But from that, they get Mourinho, he upsets everybody. Solskjaer comes in, does a great job, makes everybody happy, and, because the talent there, everybody laugh, they do brilliantly. He's the interim. They go, I'll tell you what, Edward would say, he's going all right now. To keep the fans on my side, I'll give him the job. He was nowhere near an elite manager. Nowhere near. Then it actually all comes tumbling down, which was always going to happen, because the players, they liked him, but when push comes to shove, he didn't have the tactical nous or knowledge, and he didn't have the respect as players as a manager. He did as a person. Then Rangnick comes in, and I said at the time, this is just bad after bad after bad, because Rangnick would have no power over that group of players. He's going into a dressing room with Ronaldo, with Pogba, with Fernandes, all look at him thinking, I'm bigger than you. You've been at Leipzig, they say you do all right, really? And what Rangnick's saying there is, he might have been setting up sessions and trying to get the players to implement what he wants.
Do you believe he is?
But yeah, because he wouldn't be doing his job. You can't just go, lads, we just play keep ball and we play five-a-sides. He must have been setting them up as a team shape, how they're going to play, that they're going to close down. Then he comes out and says, well, we set ourselves up on a 4-2-3-1 system with McTominay and Matic, but the players aren't actually carrying out what I told him to do. I could have told you that 4 or 5 months ago. His win percentage, Rangnick's, is 39%. Because the players look at him just going, and it's a disgrace with the players because they're looking at him going, I'm going to be here, or I'm going to get a free and I'm off, or I'll be here longer than you. You're gone. You have no... like a supply teacher going in to try and get in control of an unruly class. That's exactly what Rangnick was. Now, if Erik ten Hag thinks he's got half a chance, Gabriel Bonlahor actually top trumped me there because I said they needed 10 in, 10 out. He's gone 15. He's probably somewhere in between. Like, he's got such a rebuilding job, and people will say that there's no long term in football because of the results is the most important thing in the short term. You've got to get results. But this is a long term project to completely change that culture, completely change the profile of the players. Surely Man United fans would like young, hungry players that actually do give a rat's backside, and Arsenal have done it. That's what Arsenal have actually done. Got rid of all the deadwood, got rid of all the players who didn't care on big money and brought a load of young kids in. You've got to be talented enough to do it, but actually care. And with that, you're going to get some inconsistency, good results, bad results. Man United at the moment are light years away from even getting in the top 4.
It sticks out for me, Perry. In my lifetime when I was growing up, United were the powerhouse. When you support a team that are a bit rubbish, that are suffering, you get used as a fan to the hurt, the pain. You become numb to that hurt. This is new for a great deal of Manchester United fans that will be listening into the Sunday session this afternoon. A great deal of Manchester United fans that are out there right now. This is new ground. I would host phone-ins on talkSPORT earlier this season. A tidal wave of callers ringing in. Ollie out. Now it's Rangnick out, and you can understand that. Will it be Ten Hag out next season? If things carry on this current trajectory, we do not live in a world that Erik ten Hag is going to get these 3, 4, 5 transfer windows that everyone thinks he needs. It will not happen. If things carry on the current trajectory.
That's the point.
Fans have got to come up with better coping mechanisms. The game has got to. He will not get the time that people think he will if things carry on like they are. No,
but it all depends if the fans see what he's trying to do and he sees that the players are putting the effort on the pitch. If you can see a direction you're going in, trust me, there's the sense of entitlement. Man United aren't the behemoth, it's like winning trophies machine that they were. And they keep comparing, when you had Scholes and when you have Rio Ferdinand and when you have Dave Beckham. Don't compare with that group of players. You're nowhere near. The club is as big, probably bigger commercially around the world, but don't compare apples with oranges. It doesn't work. What you're doing now is you've got to compare with your opponents that you're going up against now. Said they're a zillion years away from Liverpool and Man City. They're still light years away from this group of players from getting in the top 4. Because if Arsenal get in the top 4, I'll tell you, we'll get money to go and strengthen. And he's set his culture. Whatever you say, he set his culture, he set his philosophy. There's non-negotiables. You have to buy into the way I want you to play. There you go. Chelsea, obviously, where new owners coming in, they will invest. I think 1.7 billion has been put to one side in it for the football club itself and investing in. If Conte stays at Spurs, they will invest because so this is a rebuild from top to bottom for Manchester United. Not just it's for the whole club.
Perry, Erik ten Hag is going to get the 3, 4, 5 transfer windows that people think he needs, or at this time next year, if Manchester United are not close to the top 4, are not closing the gap in on the European spot.
But that's different.
He is going to be a boss under pressure. People are going to be ringing into talkSPORT, calling for his head.
But if you're got anything back as a manager and you go in there, you've got to set your stall out and be ruthless and set your stall out about the way that you want to play and the sort of character and players that you want. Manchester United fans, they will give him a time if they can see an improvement. Even, not me funny, the biggest indictment of Manchester United against Brighton yesterday, when Brighton were 3-0 up, the Brighton fans started giving the olays, ole, 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 ole. And then Trossard scores, makes it 4-0, right? when did you ever see one of the big clubs get Olayed? I've seen Arsenal get Olayed maybe when they're playing Real Madrid or Bayern Munich, which you understand. But Manchester United getting Olayed by Brighton fans. No disrespect, because Brighton were brilliant yesterday, and there's a club that has a vision and a philosophy and the sort of players that Graham Potter wants, and he's in total control of that football
press
club.
was excellent, the energy was excellent.
Exactly, but then there's non-negotiables, and Brighton haven't been great. And that's the other thing, Brighton haven't been great at home this season, but Brighton fans can see, but there's nowhere near as much pressure at Manchester United. You have to see, it's taken Arsenal fans a long time to sort of buy into Arteta and what he's trying to do, but Arsenal fans get it now. They get, with that younger players coming in, that Man United fans, as long as they see that there's progress, wait, here's one. All right, I just want to see my team running around for a base. If I see my team running around and caring for the shirt and being aggressive out of possession, surely Man United fans will go, well, that's a big difference. At least we know we're on the right sort of track. But this is huge for Eric Ten. It is massive. He's got to be brave and make some really big, brave decisions to go, no, I'm the boss. I'm the one who's in control. This is what we're doing. Whereas it hasn't happened under Solskjaer, hasn't happened under Rangnick.